great Odin's raven.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
This is ridiculous. Okay, I'll go.
Welcome to the FilmPulse.net podcast, episode number 3. My name is Adam. With me, as always, the talented Mr. Kevin. Today, we are going to be talking about some of the movies we saw this week, checking in with Ryan to see what we made him watch in everyone's favorite segment called Ryan Watches a Movie. And we have a ton of terrible news to cover in a segment we like to call Not the Bees. Now, if there's anything you want to hear us talk about, or you just want to mention your comments on the air, just send us an email at podcast@filmpulse.net or give us a call on our voicemail line at 206-337-9263. Now, Kevin, let's start with you today. What is the first movie you want to talk about?
Well, I actually just got back from Baltimore. I just saw A Separation.
Okay, that's nominated for Best Foreign Language Film at the Oscars, right?
Yes. And
Iranian, right?
Mm-hmm. This is the first Iranian movie I've seen that was not done by Kiarostami. And
I didn't get a chance to see this. It looks really good, though.
yes, well-deserved Oscar nomination there. Which makes me wish that there would be a award ceremony that was just all movies. That we didn't have foreign sections. It was just everything.
Yeah.
I would really enjoy that, because this is definitely better than, I would say, every single Best Picture nominee. Except for maybe The Artist. I
think that is a shame that they do that. Like, why do they have to give foreign films, a specific category and have it limited to 5? Because I saw a lot of great foreign films this year.
Yeah. I mean, it's understandable, I guess, back when it started, maybe a lot of these countries didn't really have blossoming cinemas. But, I mean, pretty much I've only seen a couple Iranian films, like I said, but every single one I did see, I thoroughly enjoyed.
I don't know if you know this, but with the foreign language, is it just foreign language film? So, like, if, for instance, because I think last year, the Australian film, what was the
Animal Kingdom?
Animal Kingdom? Yeah, didn't that get nominated last year?
That's a good question. Well,
I think it did.
I thought it was odd that with the Golden Globes this year, there was a U.S. movie in the foreign language.
Angelina Jolie's,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if it's supposed to just be foreign language, or if, because wouldn't Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy be considered a foreign film?
Yeah, technically, yes.
Because it got nominated for all the BAFTAs, and I'm pretty sure that with the BAFTAs, they try to stick with British-made films, right?
Yeah. Animal Kingdom was not nominated.
I could have sworn it was. Or maybe just, what's her name was up for Best Actress or whatever.
Yeah, Jackie
Weaver. Jackie Weaver.
For supporting actress.
So, A Separation, what would you give it out of 10?
I would give it an 8. It was, well, real quick, the synopsis on IMDb says, a married couple are faced with the difficult decision to improve the life of their child by moving to another country, or to stay in Iran and look after a deteriorating parent who has Alzheimer's, which is very broad. The film because that's what I thought the film was about, but there's a lot more to it than that. There's the husband's accused of murder and all sorts of other things. But very good movie, very well made. The writing was phenomenal, just great acting all around.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that one out. First movie I want to talk about is Safe House. directed by Daniel Espinosa. When you watch it, you would think, oh, this is directed by Tony Scott, but no, it's not. It stars Denzel Washington, Ryan Reynolds. I'm sure you've all seen plenty of trailers for this one. Basically, Ryan Reynolds plays a CIA agent who is charged with taking care of a safe house and just sitting there waiting for people to come in. And Denzel Washington comes in as a very high-profile, traitorous ex-CIA agent.
What?
And
Wait. Denzel Washington plays an agent of some kind?
And that's just one thing that's terrible about this film. It's Denzel Washington playing the same character that he plays in every movie since Training Day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such a shame because he's such a great actor. And I don't understand why he keeps getting into these roles where it's essentially just the same character over and over again.
Yes.
Ryan Reynolds does a pretty good job. He doesn't have all like the normal quips that he does in films, with his kind of goofy humor. It's more like Buried, where he plays more of a serious role.
Yeah.
But that's kind of neither here nor there. I mean, the film itself is just complete mediocrity. It is the most bland film. The action scenes are completely incomprehensible. You can't tell what the hell's going on throughout the fight scenes. You don't know who's getting killed, who's getting punched. It's filmed very much like a Tony Scott movie where it's super grainy and gritty and like that kind of desaturated type look to it.
Yeah.
I gave this 4.5 out of 10. Just completely dull and definitely pass.
Yeah, I have to say that I'm glad you watched that because, well, I'm not glad, but there was no way I was ever going to watch that movie. Anytime I see a trailer where it pops up that Denzel Washington is playing an agent or a police officer or in some capacity of law enforcement of some kind, no. I'm not watching it.
Yeah, it was just, and it was so predictable. Like, there was this kind of twist at the end, but, I mean, everybody saw it coming from the very beginning. It was just not very good. I mean, I wouldn't say I hated it. I mean, but it was pretty terrible as far as, there was no originality with it.
It seems like it's going to be one of those movies that 10 years from now, you're going to completely forget that you saw it.
Yeah. No, I'm going to forget it probably by the end of the year. I'll forget it. It's so forgettable. That's all I have to say about that. Completely forgettable. Don't see it.
Was it better than This Means War?
A little bit. That was the next movie I wanted to talk about.
I want to say that I think it's just a little bit better just because the director has an actual name.
Yeah. This Means War, directed by McG. It's the rom-com that's with Reese Witherspoon, Chris Pine, and Tom Hardy. I like all three of those actors, especially Tom Hardy. I really like Tom Hardy, but this was a complete pile of garbage from start to finish. It was just so bad in so many ways. Terrible story. Everything was cliched.
Of course it was. And I also like to, side note, I like to pronounce the director's name as McG.
Yeah, McG. He doesn't have any vowels in his name whatsoever. He's also the guy who did Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. I think he did a bunch of other crappy movies.
Where does he get the audacity to have a name that's not a name?
I don't know. If you want to read more about what I thought of This Means War, you can go to the site and read the full review on that and Safe House. I get into a lot more detail about how much I hated both of those films in the review, so check those out.
His actual name is McGinty.
McGinty, that's his name?
Joseph McGinty Nickel.
I mean, why couldn't he just, have his normal name?
Because he's too cool for that.
He's not that special.
No, he's too
Charlie's Angels Full Throttle, for Christ's sake. Jesus.
But he did do a video documentary of Cypress Hill, so.
Well, then I guess he's
And
cool.
and Corn. Corn.
So what else did you see this week?
Well, you mentioned Tom Hardy, and I saw Warrior because hearing a lot about it, and number one reason I wanted to see it is because Nick Nolte was nominated for an Oscar.
Yep.
And I thought I had to see this movie, and I have to say that Nick Nolte does give a really good performance as a recovering alcoholic. Tom Hardy and I think it's Joel Edgerton. Yeah, Joel Edgerton he's actually from Animal Kingdom. They play two estranged brothers who end up meeting up in this huge mixed martial arts tournament, winner take all, with the purse being like $5 million. And the funny thing about this movie is the fight scenes are pretty cool. I'll give you that. Tom Hardy looks like a complete animal. It's ridiculous how
Bronson style.
Yeah, like the muscles on the neck, those things, that's ridiculous. I can't believe people can actually make those. But in all the fight scenes, Tom Hardy destroys everyone. I mean, one punch, they're done for. And then he just storms out of the cage and walks back to his dressing room. And I can't go into it further because I will ruin the movie for anyone that wants to watch it, but the ending is just ridiculous. And I'm sure you can sort of guess what the ending is. I mean, it's two estranged brothers, and they're in a tournament fighting. Their dad's a recovering alcoholic, terrible childhood, all that stuff. So.
Well, yeah, I heard that Nick Nolte did do a really good job. I don't think he's going to win, unfortunately, because of Christopher Plummer. I think that's pretty much a lock.
Yeah.
Which
I also saw that yesterday in Beginners.
Oh, Beginners?
Mm-hmm. So.
I didn't get a chance to see that yet either.
And another thing with how we were saying in the first podcast, you changed it to 10 movies, and you only have 9 this year. You couldn't think of one more? To me, Beginners was better than, I'd say, a handful of the movies that they nominated. Not to mention Tinker Tailor and all the other ones that we discussed already.
Right, yeah, there was a lot. Yeah, Beginners looks pretty good. That's with Ewan McGregor, Christopher Plummer. It's partially autobiographical, right?
Mm-hmm. Mike Mills, the writer and director, I guess it's essentially a story of his dad actually did come out after his mother died, and came out, I guess, at the age of 75, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's...
And then he gets diagnosed with cancer, right?
Mm-hmm. And it's it's a sort of heavy film, but at the same time, it's sort of lighthearted, Yeah,
it does. It is considered kind of a comedy, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. My favorite part of the whole thing is that the dog, the little Jack Russell Terrier, talks to Ewan McGregor's character. They talk back and forth. Yeah. And the dog is very wise. And it's just it was a nice movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely check that one out as well. The only other movie I wanted to mention was The Secret World of Arrietty. I saw that this weekend as well. And I absolutely loved this. This was the Studio Ghibli film, which is I guess, what's his name? Miyazaki has a lot to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a division. It's like Disney's anime division, basically. They bring over these Japanese family films, and this is the next one that they came out with. It's based on the story of The Borrowers that we all probably grew up with. I rated this an 8.5 out of 10. I absolutely loved it. It was, I didn't think I was going to like it because I honestly am not a huge fan of the Studio Ghibli
Oh, really?
films.
Really?
Yeah, I'm really not. I don't know.
I'm a
I'm
huge
not.
fan.
See, I'm not huge on anime. But every now and then there'll be a series or a movie that comes out that I really, really like. But this was just, I mean, it knocked it out of the park for me. The amazing amount of detail in this hand-drawn animation. I mean, it blew my mind. It was
That's
just
that's the
phenomenal.
that's the main reason that I love these guys, because they do old school hand-drawn animation,
Hmm.
which I just absolutely love.
Oh, it was just, if for no other reason, it should be seen for that. I mean, it was just, the story was good. It was a very, traditional like family type story, but it did have some deeper themes in it that adults could certainly relate to. But the visuals were just so incredible. Like I was just very impressed with that. So.
I didn't know that for that movie they actually have, they do different. They have people come in and do voiceovers for the U.S. version. Of
Yeah,
course, like
yeah, that's
Will Arnett's in it, Amy
mhm.
Poehler. But I didn't know that they actually do. They get a different set of
Right.
actors to do UK version. I,
Uh-huh.
I did
Mark
not know that.
Strong. The in the UK version, it's Mark Strong, and the girl is I always get her name wrong, but it's like Sorsay Rona or something like that. She was in Hannah,
Yeah,
and
Olivia Colman is in it.
yeah, Olivia Colman, and in the US one, Carol Burnett's in it, and so basically, there's three different versions. There's the Japanese one, the UK one, and the US one. I think as far as the actual film goes, it's all the same.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't know why they do that. I think when that a lot of those Disney films, they make two different versions. Like all the Disney nature documentaries that they come out with, like March of the Penguins,
Hmm.
and they get multiple narrators for those too.
Hmm. I guess it's people feel more comfortable hearing
Yeah, I guess.
their own language, which, yeah, because, I mean, this movie would never make it if they brought it over and you had to read English subtitles.
Oh God, no.
No. See,
Oh God, no.
see,
The thing that surprised me was they actually kept most of the names the same. They didn't like make them ridiculous like U.S. names. They actually kept most of the Japanese names.
Arthur,
They they changed a couple of them, but yeah, definitely recommend that.
Clyde.
Is there anything else you want to talk about before we head over to Ryan watches a movie?
I also saw The Skin I Live In.
Loved it.
Amazing movie. And again, that should be Best Picture. Like, that definitely beats everything that's nominated for Best Picture. The cinematography
Yeah.
was just unbelievable. The acting, the story. I, d- I thought I knew what this movie was about. Wow, was
You
I?
have no idea till the end.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yep, I had no idea. The twist in the end, I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, even after it happened, I was still kind of confused. Like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Um, this is, it reminded me a lot of Dogtooth.
Mm.
It had that same kind of very bizarre feel to it. Very, very different.
It reminded me of an old movie called Eyes Without a Face.
Oh,
An
yeah.
old French movie from I think it was 1960 or
Yeah, I
early
know it's
six,
old.
yeah, early 60s.
Yeah, it was, well, the plot, definitely
Yeah,
similar.
yeah.
Um, do you have the plot synopsis there?
For The Skin I Live In,
Yeah.
a brilliant plastic surgeon haunted by past tragedies creates a type of synthetic skin that withstands any kind of damage. His guinea pig, a mysterious and volatile woman who holds the key to his obsession.
Yeah, it doesn't really scratch the surface
No,
at all. You're
it
right.
doesn't even come close.
I think is that available on Netflix?
Uh, no, not the stream.
Hmm. Well, you should definitely check out The Skin I Live In. Fantastic film. You have to read subtitles,
Oh,
but it's
mm,
it's totally worth it.
mm.
Let's move on. And let's go into our next segment, Ryan Watches a Movie. This is Ryan Watches a Movie, where we get our friend Ryan to watch a movie and report back to us on if it was good or not.
Oh no, Carl. The little kids got naked and had lots of sex.
Okay, Ryan, what movie did we have you watch this week?
Should have been called Kill Yourself for Watching It.
What was it?
Because that's probably a better idea. You'd probably end up better off if you killed yourself than watch.
What was it really called?
It was called Wild at Heart.
Wild at Heart. This is the 1990 film directed by David Lynch. It was his fifth feature film. Got a 64% on Rotten Tomatoes. The IMDb synopsis says, young lovers Sailor and Lula run from the variety of weirdos that Lula's mom has hired to kill Sailor. It's a pretty weak synopsis. We have the trailer here, so let's give a quick listen to the trailer.
Awesome.
This is Wild at Heart.
Can I talk to Lula?
You are not gonna see him ever.
Mark Hale. I'd go the far end of the world for you, baby.
A man can't ask for more than that.
You move me, Sale. You really do.
You want me to shoot Sailor in the brains with a gun?
Uh-oh.
No, we want you to shoot him somewhere else.
Now, before I have you get into this, Ryan, I just want to go over the cast list. Stars Nicolas Cage, Laura Dern plays Lula, Willem Dafoe's in it, our friend Crispin Glover's in it, Diane Ladd, Isabella Rossellini, Harry Dean Stanton. There's just a ton of people in this. And I will say, full disclosure, Kevin and I have seen this movie. Normally we try to pick movies that you haven't seen, Ryan, but we did see this one, although it was many years ago that I saw it, and I don't remember anything about it, except that it was crazy.
Out of curiosity, what year did it come out?
1990.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us about Wild at Heart?
I think he disappeared.
I don't really know where to start. It was weird, and it was terrible, and it was just a waste of time. And like I really wish that on these podcasts you had like some kind of visual aid so that you could see all the retarded shit that happens in this movie. Because it's real bad. Like, at one point, they just show a toilet for like, I don't know, I'd say 10 seconds. Just a toilet with water. And that's it. It's like, it doesn't pertain to the story at all. They just show a toilet.
Now,
that's
Nicolas Cage, he's dressed the entire. I assume he's supposed to be some kind of Elvis-like character.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be like Elvis.
Because he sings, and it sort of sounds like Elvis. And he also wears a snakeskin jacket throughout it.
Mm-hmm.
True. He actually did do the singing. He did the actual singing in the movie.
That's what it kind of sounded like him, but it sort of sounded Elvis-like. This movie, I mean, alright. Let me break it down for you like this.
Please.
This movie could have easily have not been made, and they could have taken a gun and killed the main character in the first place, And there would be no need for any sort of movie because it's basically the movie tells a story, but
Sure
the
does.
story doesn't pertain to what the outcome is.
Okay.
I'm
It's
not
just-
sure if I follow.
Yeah. I don't quite get you there, but have you ever seen any other David Lynch films, Ryan? Like
Rings a bell to me. What
Lost.
else?
He did Lost Highway, Mulholland Drive, Blue Velvet, Elephant Man, Eraserhead, Twin Peaks. Remember the TV show Twin Peaks? He did that.
Well,
Do
you
have
might
you?
not be allowed to make any movies ever again.
He's a
And
pretty.
Also, Nicolas Cage should not ever be able to make a movie.
How dare you? How dare you?
It's funny because
Dumb as f-
I think
dare you.
that we'll hit an impasse here because I really like David Lynch and I really like Nicolas Cage, even though he does make some bad choices. I think they're always hilariously bad choices.
Exactly. Always
The
entertaining.
thing about
at least.
him is, like, some of his acting is good, but when he makes a bad movie, it's for real bad.
And you would say you would put Wild at Heart in that category?
Oh yeah. This
Well-
movie, I've taken shits that look better than this movie.
What would you give it out of a 10?
I would give it like a -5.
What
It
about
was
this?
It was ridiculous.
What about this scene with Crispin Glover making a sandwich?
That didn't see. Some things didn't bother me as much as like. There's a scene where there's this chick that is apparently friends with Nicolas Cage, and she was looking out for him, and I'm pretty sure it's Isabella Rossellini.
Correct.
But they, like, before their scene happens, there's a 20-second shot of just this little one-room house that they live in. Just, it's like a shot of the outside of the house. And, like, there's no point to that shot either.
So you're not a fan of the long static shots,
No.
right?
I don't know.
You don't
No.
like that.
No.
I don't know if that makes me dumb, but I don't know. It's just terrible.
I mean, it all depends on the context for me. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes when I see like just these elongated static shots of just, whatever, sometimes I get impatient with them. The Valhalla Rising comes to mind. There was a lot of like just long shots with like really nothing going on that, although I didn't mind the movie, I thought that some of those shots were kind of just too much.
I feel like that's like a time filler. Nothing else.
Well, for some
Sometimes.
directors, I would say yes. With David Lynch, the way that he makes films is that he's very meticulous about it. So I'm sure that every shot was planned out. And I mean, this movie's 125 minutes, so I mean, they definitely weren't short on time with it. It's over 2 hours long.
No.
So
The only good thing that I can say about this movie is Laura Dern looked real hot when she was younger.
I have to say that with this movie, I hate Laura Dern in this movie so much. She's so annoying.
Yeah,
just
she,
terrible.
yeah.
The
When she
characters are so
cries and
cartoony.
screams,
mm-hmm.
that's awful.
She reminded me, Juliette Lewis's character in Natural Born Killers really reminds me of Laura Dern in Wild at Heart. I mean, I find that those two films are kind of similar.
Diane Ladd was actually nominated for an Oscar in this movie.
For this movie?
For playing Laura Dern's mother.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm. And she was also
Why?
nominated
Because
for a
she
Golden
fucking painted her face with lipstick?
Mm-hmm. Probably.
And I do mean her entire face.
Yeah, I think that's what did it.
It was pretty violent too, right? I remember it being.
Yeah. I mean, like, I just can't get over how dumb it was.
Someone does trip and shoot themselves with a shotgun.
Yeah, that was the one scene that I kind of remember about it.
And Willem Dafoe probably playing the ugliest character I've ever seen in my life.
And see, I like him normally, but like in this, why make a big deal out of, like, you know, supposed to kill Nicolas Cage. Why not just kill him? Why take all the time to make nothing else works? Just kill him.
Just to recap, so Nicolas Cage is Sailor, Laura Dern's Lula, and they're lovers on the run from Willem Dafoe, correct? Who plays Bobby Peru.
Yeah.
And he's a hitman that's hired by Laura Dern's parents to kill Nicolas Cage, right?
Well, I believe that, and I didn't see any, like, video evidence, but I think Willem Dafoe killed her father as well. Because before all the events in the movie, her father was burned alive.
Oh, okay.
And I'm pretty sure, or why I guess he wasn't burned alive. He was killed then burned.
Okay, killed then burned. Okay.
No video evidence though. Absolutely none. But I have to say that this movie did win the Palme d'Or at Cannes Film Festival in 1990.
Yeah, this of the 3 movies that we showed you so far, this is by far the most critically acclaimed one. Probably.
Yeah, it wasn't like. It's not that I hated it because it was graphic or anything like that. It was just stupid.
I feel like I want to show you nothing but David Lynch films now, just to like completely blow your mind.
Well, like David Lynch, he's pretty like, I don't know.
I'll tell you where you would probably know him from. They have a character that is like a parody of him on the Cleveland Show. He's the bartender. That's probably.
Watch this.
Oh.
That's right. They did do that.
Yeah, and he's like a pretty big character in that show. Well, the good thing is that I don't think you'll have to see too many more David Lynch films because I'm pretty sure he's done directing. I think he's done making movies.
It doesn't matter. We're still going to make you watch all the old ones. Everything.
Oh, he actually, he is the voice. I thought it was somebody pretending to be him, but it is actually him. That makes it even better. I love how in that show they get Ariana Huffington and David Lynch to play these like minor characters.
Fantastic.
So that's a pass from Ryan on Wild at Heart. You would give it what? If you had to give a score, it'd be what? 1 out of 10?
-5, I think he said. -5 out of 10.
Yeah, -5. but realistically, probably 2 or 3.
2 or 3 out of 10. And we forgot to ask
It
you.
wasn't-
We forgot to ask you last week what you'd give Crawl.
Is this movie better
this
than Crawl?
one, probably around the same score.
Wow.
It's like a
I
2
mean,
or a 3.
These movies just, I don't know. I don't get them. Therefore, I don't like them.
Oh,
The director of Crawl is listening right now and going, yes!
Well,
yes!
I'll fight him.
Same score as Wild at Heart by David Lynch.
I
Yes!
will
That's a
fight
win.
him.
Put that in the win column. Guy who directed Crawl.
Alright, well, I'll say this. Crawl gets to do, Wild at Heart gets a 3.
Oh, okay.
There.
Oh,
We gotta start making a list. I'm gonna start compiling a list of all your scores, so like at the end of the year or something, we can go back and look at your top films.
But, apparently I'm not gonna have any top films.
the top,
I'm
the
just
top
gonna
film,
hate everything.
the top film's gonna be like 4 out of 10. Okay.
one of these days we're gonna find a diamond in the rough that Ryan's gonna love.
Yeah, like.
I think it's gonna be Journey 2.
Oh no.
I'm gonna send you nothing but Nicolas Cage films for the next 10 weeks.
Awesome. Oh,
I have a feeling that we're gonna pick a movie that we think that you're gonna hate, and you're gonna be like, dude, that was the best. It was the best movie ever. I loved it.
oh boy.
I don't know what that is yet, but
I was invited tonight to go see Ghost Rider 2.
well, I don't know what to say about that. I haven't.
My excuse was I didn't see the first one. Little do they know I actually did see the first one, and it was a waste of time and money. So I'm not doing it again.
Well, I think that wraps it up. Did you have any last words about Wild at Heart?
It's all. I'm sorry to everyone listening that all these scores are bad.
Well, we
But-
expected you to score them badly. That's why we picked them.
I just want to come off as a moron.
I don't
I
think
do
you.
have some sort of intelligence.
No, I have to say that this is my least favorite David Lynch film.
What about Dune?
Yeah, I don't even count that as one. Sorry.
That movie is pretty terrible. Wow.
Or The Straight Story.
I enjoyed this straight story.
The Jeep. That was certainly a
The
departure.
Yes.
Definitely
yes.
a departure from him.
It was the Elephant Man territory.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for being on the show, Ryan. We'll pick out a good one for you next week, and hopefully you'll keep coming back.
Alright.
All right, man. You have a good one.
Hang in there.
I just want to take a minute to talk about Amazon. We all know Amazon. We all shop at Amazon. So why don't you help out the podcast, help out the site by clicking through the Amazon banner on our site. All you got to do is go to filmpulse.net, click on the banner in the top right corner, and then just shop as you would normally, and you'll be helping out the show extremely. We also set up our own Amazon store where you can buy our favorite Blu-rays and DVDs, and we're going to be adding to that periodically once we get a nice list going, so you should definitely check that out and buy some movies for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Me and my wife actually have a term, and it's called Amazoning.
Yeah, there you go.
And we will tell each other, we're going to say, hey, I'm going to Amazon. And then she knows that she probably won't see me for the next 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's an experience.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's very nerve-wracking.
So with Amazon, you have some really cheap. I mean, if you want to find a good place to get Blu-rays and DVDs, Amazon's the spot.
Mm-hmm.
You can get some great deals on like a lot of Criterion DVDs and Blu-rays. So definitely check it out. Just go to filmpulse.net. There's a link at the top that says Buy Movies. Click on that, and you can see our growing list of our favorites, and definitely start buying those up.
Definitely.
Okay. Moving on, I think that we'll go into our next segment here. It's called Not the Bees. This is where we discuss some of the worst movie news of the week, and we got a ton of it.
Oh, no, not the bees! Not the bees! Ah!
Not the bees.
Oh, my eyes! Eyes!
I love the cough. Yeah.
I just love how it goes. My eyes.
Where to start? There's so much. There's so much came out this week.
Tons.
I don't even know where to begin. I guess the first thing is they announced that they will be remaking the film Valley Girl. And as a side note, I think that for some reason there's a lot of Nicolas Cage references in this week's podcast.
Yes.
It wasn't intentional. It just turned out that way.
Yeah. Sorry. But Nicolas Cage he's an enigma.
Oh, he's amazing. We have a clip of him that we're going to play in a little bit, but Valley Girl is the 1983 film with Nicolas Cage and who's the... I always forget the name of the female lead in that. Is it Elizabeth Daly?
Yeah.
Is that her name?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Elizabeth Daly. Directed by Martha Coolidge.
So they announced this week that will be remade, and it will be a musical, and it will be directed by the guy that made the Fred movie. And now, if you guys are unfamiliar with the Fred phenomenon, I guess you could say, he's this kid who made this series of YouTube videos and got real big, and apparently they gave him a movie, and I think there might even be more than one movie. But here's just a little example of Fred.
Hey, it's Fred, and it's really nice out, so I think I'm gonna go swimming later.
Yeah, and that's all I'm gonna play because that goes on. It's like that for like 3 minutes. So
yes, this is a kid that essentially got famous for being able to do an odd voice. Thank you, YouTube and society. Whoa. So, Valley Girl. Well, the small thing that I want to add about the Fred movie, the best part about Fred, the movie, actual title, is that the R in Fred is backwards.
Oh yeah, backwards R. Because he's wacky. He's just a wacky character.
So wacky, like 2.1 rating, wacky. That's how wacky.
I don't think that they have, other than the director, I don't think that they have any cast lineup for Valley Girl just yet, do they?
Hopefully they never do.
Yeah, hopefully it's one of those that'll just fizzle out.
Oh, God, I hope so. That would be...
One movie that's not going to fizzle out, though, is Transformers 4, which was announced this week. Michael Bay basically said that, yes, Transformers 4 is happening. They're working on it right now, and it's going to be a reboot of the Transformers
And that is
films.
my cue to start drinking.
So, I don't know why it's necessary to make a reboot of a movie that just had its third entry last year.
Because people are clamoring for it.
I mean, I think that, generally speaking, Transformers 2 and 3 were not well received. They were horrible. I saw both of them, and I hated each one more than the last. And I guess maybe he's thinking like, oh, well, we completely ran this franchise into the ground, so let's start over and do it again.
Yeah.
And Josh DeMille was interviewed this week, and he stated that none of the original cast is going to be returning for Transformers 4. So,
well, that's good. At least I don't have to see Shia LaBeouf anymore.
Did you hear that there was a rumor that was going around for a while that he lost an arm or lost his hand in a motorcycle accident?
Really?
I don't think it's true at all, but that was like one of those weird internet rumors. Like, I think there was one going around that like Chris Rock died or something.
Wow. Well,
I just love those little.
Shia LaBeouf, if you're out there, email us and let us know if you actually lost your hand or not. We're interested to know. And I'm interested if he's still trying to make that Caged biopic.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I think we probably would have heard a little bit more about that.
Yeah, especially with losing your hand now.
Yeah.
He's got bigger problems to tackle.
We also have Twisted Metal, the video game, was announced that there is a film adaptation.
Well, that's absolutely genius because that was popular 14 years ago, probably?
Probably. I think Twisted Metal was really big when we were in like 9th grade, probably.
Yeah. Wait, what's next? Jet Moto? Are they gonna do a Jet Moto film?
Hydro Thunder, the arcade version, the movie.
Yes.
Twisted Metal's being directed by Brian Taylor, who you may know from Ghost Rider 2 recently. He also did Crank 2, and Gamer. So, I do have a confession. I did like Crank and Crank 2. I did think that they were completely over the top and just ridiculous fun, but I don't think Twisted Metal is going to be very good, considering the fact that the video game had no discernible plot line to speak of other than weird people in cars trying to blow each other up for no reason.
I hope that in the movie, like when a car blows up and the person dies, that they're just dropped back down somewhere else in the area, flashing. And then they just...
I'm sure that they're going to have, like, crazy power-ups, too.
Yeah, and then the movie never ends. It's essentially... The cut's going to be probably, like, 6 months. Like a 6-month cut of a movie that you just have to watch for 6 months straight. Because no one ever does.
I have a feeling that it's going to look a lot like the Death Race remake with Jason Statham. I think that it's going to have that look to it. And I'm sure it's going to be just a nightmare of a film. We also, let's go ahead and get this Nicolas Cage clip going. He was interviewed this week on an internet movie site, and he's had some very interesting things to say. This is in regards to when they were filming Ghost Rider 2. So let's give this a quick listen.
I've been told that all actors really hail from the early medicine men and the shamans in the villages pre-Christianity, where they would put on masks and act out, and really they were probably pretty crazy, but they would go in and find answers to questions. Today you're called psychotic if you do that, but it's all semantics. So what I would do is I'd put on Afro-Caribbean paint, like a white and black paint, and black out my eyes so I look like this sort of Afro-Caribbean voodoo icon. And then I would sew in bits of Egyptian artifacts that were thousands of years old into my costume and gather some onyx or tourmaline or something that was meant to have vibrations. And who knows if it works or doesn't, but for me it was an idea of like trying to stimulate my mind or trick my mind into believing.
So that was Nicolas Cage being awesome.
Yes.
Basically, I think what he was saying was he was trying to say in a non-racist way that he was putting on blackface.
Essentially.
I'm pretty sure that's what he was saying. And he was running around scaring the cast and crew.
Yes. And also, sewn in bits of ancient Egyptian artifacts.
Thousands of years old. I do like Nicolas Cage. I think he's a great actor. I think he's just kind of eccentric.
Well, it needs to be said that if you are going to do this, you cannot do it half-assed. You can't be sewing in ancient Egyptian artifacts that are only, maybe 900 years old. Yeah, you got to do it right. And I think that's what he was trying to get across.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, go big or go home.
Exactly.
That's Cage's motto.
Exactly.
Go big or go home.
The IRS makes you do some funny things. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's right. He was having problems with that, wasn't he?
He was.
Maybe that's why he's doing so many like weird
I think so.
movies.
I think so.
He's just doing whatever.
He needs money. He needs it.
The thing is, like, he'll come out with like 3 or 4 bad movies, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, I guess he really is, on his way out. He's really losing it. But then, like, he'll come out with a movie that's good. Like, I liked the Bad Lieutenant remake, and I loved Kick-Ass. And so, like, every time one of those comes out, I'm like, oh, well, there we go. He's redeemed himself.
Yeah. Well.
And he was hilarious in Kick-Ass.
It seems like his stretch of bad movies is getting longer at each turn. It used to be, it would be like 2 or 3, and then he would do a good movie, and then like 2 or 3 bad ones, and they'd do a good one. Now it seems like he'll do bad movies for like a year or 2, and then he'll come out with a good one.
Well, the thing to remember with him is, like, he never did, like, all amazing movies. From the beginning of his career, it was always kind of spotty. I mean, he'd always have, like, for every Leaving Las Vegas, there's something else that was completely panned by critics.
Yeah, like Valley Girl.
Actually, that got an 83% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Are you serious? That's why I don't ever go to Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, that got an 83%.
Wow. People liked odd things back then.
Well, what I'm wondering is, I mean, Valley Girl obviously wasn't, or Rotten Tomatoes wasn't around when Valley Girl came out.
Yeah.
So how do they have such a definitive percentage on a movie that came out in 1983?
Probably just print reviews and stuff. But I'm sure there definitely wasn't as many critics as there was there is now.
I think that it's a lot of critics that go back and review like those older movies, and see, that's the thing. I mean, you can watch a movie that's a lot older, like The Big Lebowski, for example. I'm sure, I don't know what the score is on Rotten Tomatoes, but I'm sure it's a very high score. But if you remember when that movie came out, everybody hated it.
Yeah.
Like, critics were just, I mean, they just ripped it to shreds, and then all of a sudden it becomes, this cult classic, and then groupthink starts coming into play, and then critics start piling on top of each other.
Which it reminds me of something that we talked about this before with the Oscars and stuff. A couple of years ago, Matt Damon came out and he said that he thinks the Oscars should be when they're like, essentially he said like this year's Oscars should actually be voting for 10 years ago, the movies of 10 years ago. So that might be, maybe we should revisit that, maybe do that. Go back to, I guess it would be the 2001 Oscars.
Yeah.
And see if the movies that actually won and the performances that won, if they've actually stood the test of time. I mean, it's only 10 years, but, like, I can pretty much guarantee what was it, the last year or the year before when Sandra Bullock won for The Blind Side?
I think that was last year.
Yeah. What? Really? For a movie that's probably going to be playing on the Lifetime channel in less than a year? Give me a break.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of movies that I think were like that. And a lot of Academy Award winners. I mean, like Cuba Gooding Jr. for Jerry Maguire. Even like the big ones like that. Like, what did he do after Jerry Maguire? Snow Dogs.
Snow Dogs 2. Was he in Snow Dogs 2? I hope he was.
Yeah, it was.
At the same time, I hope he wasn't. I feel sad for him. But
yeah, so it's like,
yeah, I'm starting to realize that. Well, I've realized a long time ago that the Academy essentially just hands out awards for sap.
Oh yeah,
sappiness.
Oh yeah. Like the year that Crash won for like everything.
Oh my god!
I was like, what?
Which again,
what the fuck is this?
Again brings me back to, I wish they would just have an award ceremony for everything, because Crash is just essentially a ripoff of every movie by the director that made 21 Grams, Beautiful, Maurice Paros. They just essentially stole what he does.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, we could probably talk all day about how the Academy makes terrible decisions, and I'm sure that we'll be talking about it this year after the Oscars,
Oh, yeah,
too.
we will. But, like, right now, let's talk about something even better. John Carter.
John Carter. So, Disney's John Carter has a sequel in the works already. It's called John Carter, Gods of Mars. This is the next in the book series. Disney has not greenlit the film yet for obvious reasons. They want to see how the first one does, but I read that it ends on a cliffhanger, the second one. So if the second one gets made, we will definitely expect a third one and maybe a fourth one and, so on and so forth.
Knowing the way Disney does things, it'll be they'll probably order like 30 movies. There will be a John Carter TV show.
Yeah, there'll be like an animated one on the Disney Channel and all that stuff. I mean, this movie looks so bad to me. I don't understand why anybody's excited for it. I mean, I'm not excited for the Hunger Games, and that's a big one. But with the Hunger Games, I can see it more than John Carter.
You can understand.
Yeah, there's something to be said about the Hunger Games. It looks like it might be good, but with John Carter, I see it, and it looks like a cross between Avatar and Prince of Persia to me.
And then just like fold in a huge pile of shit into that recipe, and that's what.
Yeah,
because it has to be the worst trailer I've ever seen in my life. It looks so bad.
Oh God, the trailer is so terrible. Like the CG in it doesn't even look good to me. Like there's nothing appealing about that film whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sick of them making movies that are like, oh, on the hit series of books. Like, oh, it's on the hit series, and it's like, I've never even heard of those books. And like, how can you say it's based on the hit series of books? Like, from what I read, like, they did that with Hunger Games, or like the hit series. Like, apparently, when they had the movie made, like, the first book wasn't even, it was barely out. It wasn't a hit. So it's like, I hate how they do that.
Yeah, it's sort of like, probably like cross promotion type.
Yeah, they're trying. I think since the Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings series have ended, I think every big studio is clamoring to try to find that next series that's going to basically carry them financially through the next decade. Yeah. Because I read that Harry Potter has now made over $1 billion.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah, I mean, yacht season's coming up, so
yeah,
you gotta find those movies.
And I think that it's scary for big studios to not have like those flagship titles. So I think they're always going to be looking for the next thing. And the thing, I think it's funny when you see a series that doesn't work and then you just never see them finish it.
Yes. And the other thing is, what do they do if they can't find those big ones? They reboot something else. Like upcoming 2 Zorro movies.
2 Zorro reboots, yeah. That's 2. And I don't think that they have details on the one that Sony's making, but I think the Fox one is the one that got cast by what's his name, Garcia, right?
Yes.
And this has me, I don't know what to say about this. It sounds like the worst idea ever. It's a Zorro that takes place in a post-apocalyptic future. I think it's
natural progression.
It's just the worst idea ever. But I do like that actor. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
I like the Motorcycle Diaries. I like the Maurice Paros.
Yeah, I do.
I think he's a really good actor.
I do enjoy, what is it, Gail Garcia Bernal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have no idea how to pronounce Spanish names, so apologies.
No. Well, I think that's
just awful, because there's going to be probably 2 other ones. It always seems like one studio comes out with an idea, and then it was the same thing with the whole Snow White thing. One studio comes out, and then another studio's doing a Snow White movie, and then another one's doing it. It's just come up with your own ideas.
Yeah, there's 3.
Ridiculous.
There's 3 Snow White movies coming out now. I think 2 of them are coming out right around the same time, and I think there's another one that might actually be a Disney one that's coming out later.
Yeah.
But they seem to do that like every year. Every year there's something where there's like two very similar movies. Like we had The Prestige and The Illusionist that came out at the same time. And although when you see those movies they're quite different, it's still about magic. So I don't know how that always seems to happen. But two Zorro movies I think is just too similar. Like that's just, people are going to be confused. They're not going to know what the hell's going on.
Just,
I guess, depending on when they come out.
Please don't watch them. If you're listening, do not go out and watch these movies, because I don't want to see any more Zorro movies ever.
Zorro's not even that cool.
No, it's not. There's the reason people forgot about Zorro.
Doesn't he use like a fencing sword? Like fencing, like, what's it called, a scepter?
Yeah, there's something. Who knows? Who cares? I don't care. Just come up with something new. Why are you taking things from like the 50s? People don't care about Zorro.
And here's my advice to moviegoers. If you stop going to see these movies, they'll stop making them. If you don't go see Transformers 4, we won't have to suffer through Transformers 5. Just don't go see them. I mean, we
should make a series of PSAs begging people not to go see Transformers 4. I think we might actually do that. We're going to look into that.
A whole campaign.
Mm-hmm.
We'll we'll get some banner ads going and start
bumper stickers.
Putting them out on other,
we're going to take out advertisements.
God.
Which brings me back to shop at Amazon.
Yes.
Do it.
Go to filmpulse.net. Doesn't take any time at all. Just go to filmpulse.net, click on the Amazon banner, buy some stuff. You'll be helping out the show. It doesn't cost you anything. Nothing.
Plus helping out trying to destroy Transformers 4.
Yes, it's going to be we're going to launch a full-blown campaign to stop Transformers 4, and we need your help. I think that wraps it up for this week.
Indeed.
Tune in next week when we go over some more news, and we will have Ryan back with us going over another movie. As always, you can email us at podcast@filmpulse.net. Give us a call at 206-337-9263, or send us some comments. Let us know what you think on the site at filmpulse.net. That does it for me. My name is Adam.
My name is Kevin.
And we will see you next week.